Good morning, Dave Snyder here. It is the, what date is it? It's already late in January, that's for sure. 17th January 2018. So let's see if we can learn a little something about the weather, the moon, the earth. As you know, I've made videos before about Copernicus, the Copernicus crater on the moon. We can see that crater on the moon when we look at the moon. It's clearly visible. This is its pattern when it's on the earth. This is the pattern it leaves on the earth. It's a conical shape, as you can see. And basically, it is... Oh, I got all this stuff turned on. Hold on a second. Give me a second here. I got to go up and turn these things off. Okay. Basically, what we have is the conical shape in South America. You see the conical shape here? It's like an ice... South America looks like an ice cream cone, basically. You got the cone and you got the ice cream here, right? Okay, this is the same thing. See that spot right there? That bright spot? That's the important spot. That's Copernicus right there in our weather. And that right there, when you put it in South America, goes like, see, they don't show us. This is the Google Earth we get. They give us this. They used to show, and I do have other pictures of South America maps that do show there's an actual crater there, right in this area of South America. And you can see that if I bring that down here and overlay it, this will be the Andes right here, right? This would be the Andes. South America leaves this pattern all over the northern hemisphere. It comes from down here all the way across. It shows over here, South America weather pattern shows here. It shows here. Shows the Hawaiian Island chain is the exact same angle as the angle you see right here. This angle here. Okay. Now, if I want to align this South America to this right here, all I have to do is I just remove or just fade this image out, basically. And I've done this before. I've showed this in a video before. You see this area of the ocean floor right here, this little angle here? That angle goes with this angle right here. You line those two things up, and you got a perfect alignment of that period of time in on the earth. Basically, that weather is telling you a story, but that weather comes from right here. I saved that weather from Central America. So you see, Copernicus leaves this print. You can find it all over the planet. Basically, you're going to see it in Northern California, where I have it overlaid right now, right here in this area. It leaves this print where the gold rush took place. Now, I don't know if that was if America was the top layer or of like an impact or whatever, but it is Copernicus that goes here. Copernicus on the moon, yes indeed. I'll show you the overlay right now. You'll see the angle being really close to in place. I just threw this up last night, so I mean may not be perfect, but I think it's pretty good. See how I got Yellowstone over here by Ecuador? Remember yesterday I shared an image on Google Plus of the Colombia. I said Colombia over Colombia. You can clearly see Colombia's pattern over. It was over Colombia. I said it was over Colombia, but it was in this area right here, and so that right there represents Yellowstone. So that puts Colombia, the Colombia volcano, what I call the Great Volcano. It puts it, which you can see the shape of right here, in the center of the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, that's what it looks like. This is when it's showing very pretty good. It looks like this, but it was right here. And that puts Yellowstone and that Colombia together. Like I've pointed out before, Yellowstone is another creation of the Great Volcano. This is too, and it's in the New Madrid fault line. It shows up along, or the Gulf of St. Lawrence shows up along the whole coast. Shows up everywhere on the planet. California has the same thing. All the land you walk on almost was created by that volcano at one point in time, and it still shows. Every area still has a scar from the land moving, away from it or whatever. It gets pushed out when a volcano erupts. Everything gets pushed out, I guess. But it was a big volcano. That's like a 700-mile long volcano opening. Just the opening alone. So anyways, this is Copernicus right here, and I've showed that, put things together before. Now, I'll bring up a picture of the crater. I think I have it right. I think I got it right. This is a pretty nice picture of Copernicus, actually. And it fits there really good. The only thing that I can't figure out is these right here. It doesn't really fit anything here. But let me see. I'll shut this off here. Okay, so, and turn the borders off. Okay, so right here, where this comes out of the bottom, I noticed. See, there's this mountain right in this area. Right in this area right here, called Copernicus Peak. It's a big mountain. This is a strange area right here. It's basically, I don't know, it's like a lost area of the Bay Area. Nobody goes here really. I mean, not many people. This is all private property almost. Big lots of private property and it's really interesting. There's a road that goes down through here somewhere. I took one day to go look at some boats, and I was shocked. I never knew this area was here. It was beautiful. I mean, just beautiful. Nobody out there. I mean, like I said, it's all private property, and everybody's scattered around. And they live up on the hill. You can barely see any of the houses or anything. Some are along the road, but this is a really interesting area. Really interesting. I mean, I had never known it was there, and I never seen anything really like it. Maybe it was just the shock of finding it or something. I don't know, but it was interesting. And I know there's a Copernicus Peak in this area. If I turn the borders on, we could probably find it. The exact place. It's one of these mountains here. That's not it. It's bigger. It's bigger than these ones, I think. It'll show up bigger. Should. Yeah, it should show bigger than that. That's a bigger mountain, I think. Mount Hamilton maybe it's over this way. Yeah, it might be right here. Yep, there we go. Copernicus Peak. Right in the middle. Okay, so it's a little lower down here. That's cool. Where do I have this at? Oh yeah, that's in a good place. It might be a little bit off, but I bet you if I just move that a little bit to this way, it would fit right over that area. You got to look at the names of things really, because the names give things away. It's a man's name. The man's name is Copernicus. Okay, they named that crater after that man, but then these mountains were probably named later. I don't know how long that crater's been named Copernicus on the moon, but I'm sure it was a lot earlier than this mountain was named Copernicus. So people know, and it's just like the Orient. The Orient and Mare Oriental Basin on the moon go together entirely. But there's other craters that go with that area too, because the moon once was over the Earth and rolled around and left trails and locked on to certain areas of the Earth. And you can see the history in the weather. I'm just saying, you can actually understand the moon and the Earth relationship so much better when you don't listen to NASA and you just use their images and their weather to figure it out, because that's the only way you're going to get the right story. I mean, even close to being right. And then you study history and all the traditions and everything, and you'll figure it out. I mean, people think it's crazy that the moon has left prints on the Earth, but this is what it shows. This is what they show us, and it does show that. Absolutely shows that. This is where the gold rush took place in California. I mean, it all goes together when you start to think about it, right? And there is a crater there. It's a circle. Look, there's a big circular shape right here, and it brings things together. This is for sure. This right here, you bring South America right there, like I said, with that angle, and it puts the two craters, the crater that's in South America, right together with this area. Same with India. India goes with this too. India was next to California. It left that mark of Copernicus all at the same time. They weren't like separately created, right? How was that? Now, how does that happen? How does each place have the same print at the same time? Because they were built in layers, apparently. I mean, they had to be. You also see that Copernicus pattern right here. This is the first place I ever seen it, was right here in the North Pacific. I noticed it there one time, and then I started noticing it at other places like here, and then also by India, like I said, over here by India as well. See the Copernicus crater all the time in the weather. So now I have this other one I want to show. This one's going to be hard for most of you to understand because it's, I don't know, maybe you'll see it right away. Maybe that'll happen. We'll see. I got to find it first. It's a pretty new one. Might be this one. No? Okay. Don't even tell me I lost it. Here it is. Okay. So what I did with this image, this is a picture of weather. Let's take the borders off so you can see. This is India. Here's, the Tibetan Plateau right here, the Himalayas. Up here would be Siberia, Russia, whatever. And Japan over here, right? And this is a big weather pattern that I saved years ago. But you can see the alpha just a little bit in this picture. I mean, I can see it. There's the alpha right here. So what I did is I took that and I aligned it to the alpha like so. I'll show you with the borders on it. Probably help. Might be better that way. Okay, so I aligned it to the alpha here. That's all I really did to begin with, was just put that together with the alpha. Alpha is the Indonesia and the Philippines, basically. That A shape. See the A shape there? In the center of this big circle. See the big circle on the earth, people? Look. See that circle? The circle of life. Yes, indeed. This is the actual circle of life. There is the circle of life where, life regenerates or whatever, but that's different. This is the circle of life. This is where it all starts on the earth. Everything, all the continents, everything come from the circle. All of them. They've all been inside here. Created and then spread apart. Pushed aside, whatever, somehow like that. I don't, that part's a little bit complicated, but like the land down under is literally the land down under. This is the newest continent on the planet Earth. It's the latest, it's the, newest one to come up from the, the depths of the ocean or whatever, but it's the newest continent, and you can see that it is the land down under. It doesn't mean that it's low on the, this would be the land down under if that was the case. I mean, come on, really? The land down under is, maybe this used to be the land down under down here, because Antarctica is exactly the same shape as Australia. Without the ice, you can overlay it, and it is a match of Australia. So, think of it what you will. But anyways, this one here, I was looking at this one. I had this overlaid yesterday. And I put the A shape there, and I looked right here where China is, and I can see an oval shape. It's hard to see it if you haven't done these overlays before, but there's like this oval shape, and it fit right into China right there. You can see that it fits right into China, like right there. Okay. Well, if you've watched my videos before, you'll know that I've taken the Jupiter storm from the planet Jupiter, because it does fit the Earth. When you reverse the Jupiter storm and all of its surrounding geology from Jupiter, and you flip it over, you'll find that it fits the Earth in many places. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I don't think Jupiter is big as they say. I think they lie about a lot of things. So you got to kind of figure that out yourself. But anyways, this is a really interesting overlay. Everything is in place if you know what you're looking at. So I was looking at this anyway, and I was thinking, wow, China, it looks like it's like the mouth. Knowing the Jupiter storm puts its print there, and watching the weather and all that stuff from this area, you see that it's generating heat. This whole area does generate heat. If you look at Null School, the Null School one, it shows the best of China. It does really. It shows like a big hot spot right here. There's always something. People thinking it's particulates in the air. Maybe so, but it's definitely oval shape, and it comes from China. I don't know, smog, whatever, call it what you want, but this is the mouth of the dragon. I said that's what I was thinking to myself. I was laying back on my bed looking at it, because this is all in place. Watch, look here. Okay, we got Australia down below. Now watch this. How Australia fits the Bay of Bengal. I mean, it's definitely goes together. There's definitely something to that right there. It just turned out that way, and it puts the North Pole and Copernicus together for sure. Because this used to be, they call this area the North Pole for some reason in Australia. It's not the North Pole, but they call it that for a reason because it used to be at the North Pole apparently, where Copernicus once left its. Maybe Copernicus was at the pole, or all these spots that where Copernicus leaves its mark, which is right here in India, and then I guess right there in Australia too. It would be right here in Australia somewhere. Leaving, and this is where they found the gold. This is why they call it the North Pole. I was thinking to myself yesterday, the North Pole, or whichever pole, it would be the north or the south, where you would get the most gold. So former locations of where the pole used to be is where somehow you're going to get more gold and more minerals because it's the way the magnetic field goes through the earth. You're going to. I was just thinking, it's just a theory, of course, but it's I always think about those things. Brainstorming because because California, obviously, the gold rush was in California, and we got Copernicus fitting right there. Now we have the Copernicus showing here in Australia, where I just showed that one. It would show right there where the gold fields are over in this area of Australia that somebody named the North Pole at one time. It's like I watched a documentary. The guy jokes around about it, but you can see it right here. Look, I bet you that's it right there. How much you want to bet? That's Copernicus. Well, let's find out. Oh, I can already see it. Excuse me. Yeah, I can already see it. So let's do it real quick. Find the picture. We'll do it. Copernicus. I hope this picture's flipped backwards because I'm pretty sure it is. I've tried it. I must have used it already before. You can already see it, can't you? I can. I can already see it. Look at this. Watch this. You're going to shit bricks. Look at that shape. That is so beautiful. Oh my God. You see what I'm saying? Look at that, people. Look what we just did in like a second. It took us just a minute to figure that out. Oh man. That is such a nice overlay. Wish that would have been at the beginning of the video. But you see how the learning process goes? That's how I figure. Now I know that Copernicus leaves his print here, and it puts it together with India. I mean, look how good that fits. That was so easy. I mean, that's not perfect, I'm sure, but I can see the edge of this one. Look at the round. You can see something round right in that area. I'm not saying it's for sure there, but I can see something there. It's there somewhere in that area. That crater is there because this fits. So this shows in South America. This shows and I bet you every one of them has a gold mine. Every one of these locations, except for India, maybe because it's such an old area, they probably got all the gold out of that a long time ago. But they do have copper. Big copper companies, Copernicus Copper. That's what they call it. That's the name of the biggest copper company in India. They call it Copernicus Copper. Well, what do you know? Why would they do that? I don't know. Pretty interesting, though. Pretty scientific. It's just logic. This is just logic, people. You look at the moon. It's close to the Earth, okay? They say a planet hit the Earth at one time. Okay, maybe let's say it did. So where did it hit? Oh, okay, we do have this big circle on the Earth. It's a big circle. It's like a perfect circle right here, a big crater, whatever. And you see this right here, this A shape, the alpha I call, and the omega. You see it all over the planet Earth in the weather. It's just logical. The moon is right there. What planet hit the Earth? Oh, the moon is a planet. It's big. Look at how big this is. This is okay, now we have proof. Look, this crater on the moon is going to be about 4 times bigger than they say. And look at the print on the Earth. It's a perfect match. Oh, it's almost perfect. Just throwing it up there real quick. See that? Watch. This will be in. If I bring the India picture up, this will fit India. Something like it should. Because that'll just, and that shows that this picture that I have overlaid is correct. It shows that this is the alpha pattern here. It shows that China is the mouth of the dragon, where the moon lifted off the earth, where it ascended into the heavens. The dragon they call the pearl, the pearl ascended into the heavens, and and came out of the dragon's. This is the dragon's mouth that the pearl comes out of, right? That's the story in China. It's close enough. Of course, the moon's going to ascend from the Earth once it's connected to the Earth. It has sat at the North Pole. Okay, this used to be the Arctic Circle. This circle that we're looking at used to be like the Arctic Circle is now. It used to be the North Pole, and the moon sat here before. Okay, the moon has sat here before, and it rolled and it showed different sides of the Earth. And I don't know if there was humans at the time that seen that, but there was definitely humans at the time when it was rising up, and they've seen all these different sides, because it goes so far back before satellite images. They've seen these other sides of the moon. Definitely, you can see it in all the historic things in buildings and everything. I mean, it's there. They've seen other sides of the moon that we don't see today. Like, I mean, this is Copernicus. We see this. We definitely see this. So this is more recent than the others. And look where it falls, right there. I'm not saying this picture is perfect, by the way, but it is in the right spot in India. This crater falls in the right place. It's really that cove right there. This cove right here. It's like you can see the edge of it in India. That's the edge of Copernicus. So that was a good video. I'll just end it right there. We learned something. That's how I've learned the whole time doing this, putting things together, finding things, and just building the story. Now we have more to the story. That used to be the North Pole. This is why they found all the gold, a lot of gold right here in Australia, obviously, right? Because it's linked. And you know, the thing is, I watched a video years ago when I first started doing this, and I'd be damned if I can find it today, about California and Australia being like together at one time or something. They mentioned something that made me look. And I started looking at that because the gold and all that, you know. But anyways, they're linked. Everything's linked together that way. So, have a great day. Thank you for watching. I think that was a great find. I don't know. You know, I think it's made my day. All right, everybody have a nice day. Nice night. Peace.